Hey guys, welcome back to Top Dog Tips. My name is Samantha and today I want to talk to you guys about something that's really important for all pet owners to know, and it is how to read dog food labels. And you can see this bag here, this is what we're currently feeding our dog, and the reason that I say currently is because your dog is going to be changing as he grows, as he develops, as his body changes, health conditions change, things like that. You might need to switch his food. So currently this is what we're feeding, and I'm going to use this to explain to you a little bit about how to read dog food labels. What you really need to know is that there is a ton of information to learn, and I cannot possibly pack it all into this brief video. So click on the link below this video and it will give you information, a lot more information on our website, a lot more detailed information. So definitely make sure to do that if you're interested in learning all there is to know about reading dog food labels. So here is Sojo's turkey recipe, 100% grain-free. You can see now things like this 100%, this is what you want to look for, is numbers like that. I don't know if you can see down here on the bottom, it also says 100% natural dog food. When a company says that something is 100% natural or 100% grain-free, then it has to be 100% natural or grain-free, whatever the claim is. If it just says grain-free dog food, if it just says natural dog food, there's a bit of a loop there. A loophole, sorry. And the manufacturers actually, it can be mostly grain-free and it can be mostly natural. The laws, the guidelines, the restrictions in the pet food industry are really, really poor. Certainly nothing like they are for human food. So keep that in mind when you are reading a dog food label. Just because it says something on the label and you perceive it as one thing, it actually can be very misleading. So let's look at the back of this dog food, and the first thing you're going to see right up here on the top are the ingredients listed. And every dog food, the law states that they have to list every ingredient used, and it has to be listed by weight. So this food is dehydrated, which means that all the water has been taken out of it. If you're comparing kibble to, say, canned food or dehydrated food, kibble has very low moisture, but it does have some moisture content. Canned food has high moisture content. So there's information, again, click the link under this video. There's information on our website about how to convert, to do the conversion from, so that you can compare food with a high moisture content to food with a low moisture content. You want to help compare crude protein and fat between brands and between canned and dry food. So that's really difficult when you have canned foods that can be up to 80% moisture, and some dry foods can have as little as like 6% moisture. So you want to be leery of that. And again, that information for the conversion is all on our website on my written article. So here we have ingredients. The first ingredient is turkey here. Whoops, I'm a little high, I guess. There, so turkey right there. And this is important that meat is the first ingredient, but you also have to think about different tactics that are used by marketing for marketing purposes, again, when it comes to things like the turkey is the first ingredient, and this actually is a really great quality food. There's not a lot of ingredients and it's 100% natural. So the ingredients here are turkey, sweet potatoes, whole eggs, things like that. When you get down here after dried alfalfa, pumpkin, ginger root, you have vitamin E, which is used as a preservative, but you don't have a lot of things like corn, wheat, grain, things like that. Be very careful, because in this ingredients list, turkey may be rated #1, and then down here you may get to a place where it lists ground corn, corn gluten, corn bran, and they have all these different corn things. So if you group those all together, the weight of the actual corn products in that dog food may outweigh the turkey or the venison or whatever your protein source is, but they break it down and list it so that it looks like the protein source is the highest ingredient. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the ingredients. Read every single ingredient. Don't just read those first few and say, oh, yep, okay, turkey, sweet potato, whole eggs, broccoli, this is a great quality food. Keep reading the entire list. That's very, very important. So then we move on to things that are listed in the ingredients. And again, this can get super detailed. There's a lot more information on our website, so be sure to check that out. Things like meat. Meat is going to be the clean flesh of the animal. So when this says turkey, it's the actual meat of the turkey. It can include things like skeletal muscles, tongues, diaphragms, hearts, things like that are considered that clean flesh. And then you're gonna get things where it might say, this one doesn't have it again, but it might say beef byproduct, turkey byproduct, things like that. Byproducts are clean parts of the animal that aren't included in the meat. So it might be, a lot of organs are in here, liver, spleen, lungs, kidneys, and these actually pack a lot of great nutrients in them. So byproducts are not always something to be leery about. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. That's another tricky part for us. But be sure that if you see byproducts that you're actually looking into what those byproducts are. If they aren't listed here, check the website. If they're not listed on the website, ask the company. Don't feed your dog anything that you're not 100% sure of. So be leery of byproducts to a certain extent, but a lot of people think and hear byproducts and they automatically think a negative, and that's not always the case. Be aware of certain things that are used as preservatives, things like BHA, which is a preservative that's used that there have been some studies done on that maybe isn't so healthy for our dogs. I might get this wrong, but I think it's ethoxyquin, which is a chemical preservative that's used to prevent spoiling in dog foods. These things, again, there's information on our website. There's some links to some of these preservatives that they're not the greatest for our dogs, so keep that in mind. Manufacturers have to list the preservatives that they add. So for example, this is vitamin E. Vitamin E is, sometimes it might say tocopherols, which are naturally occurring compounds that are used as natural preservatives. So that's great. Once you get into all those chemical names that you can't pronounce, and some of those are preservatives, manufacturers have to list the preservatives that they add, but they don't have to list preservatives in the ingredients that are processed elsewhere. So if they're sourcing their ingredients from somewhere else, and that somewhere else is using preservatives to preserve those ingredients, the manufacturer does not have to list those. Keep that in mind. You want to look for a statement of nutritional adequacy on the label, and that's going to come from the AAFCO, which is the Association of American Feed Control, and it's going to say something on it. Let me look on the front here and see. It does not say it on the front. Somewhere here on the back. I will find it for you in just a second, but it's going to say, like, I don't know if you can read this small print, but it says this suggested daily servings, which is actually up here. This one does it in a nice little table. Some of them just tell you to feed this size dog this much during the day. So it says that these are guidelines. It talks about pregnant and lactating dogs. You want to make sure that you look for that information. Food safety, this one says this product contains raw meat, so wash your hands, and there's going to be different food safety things on there. Right here it says, Sojo's is formulated to meet the nutritional levels established by the AAFCO dog food nutrient profiles for all life stages. So you want to look for that AAFCO nutritional adequacy label there, but you also want to see the statement that says what the food is actually formulated to feed. So for this one, it's all life stages. Some of them are for puppies. Some of them are for pregnant dogs. You can find for senior dogs, adult dogs, things like that. So you want to look for one that's obviously going to meet wherever your dog is in his life stage currently. So that's very important to look for. The other thing that you can look for is this guaranteed analysis. All dog food labels have to put the minimum, and again, I'm not sure how close this is if you can read it very well, but they have to put the minimum amount of protein and fat in the food. So this one says crude protein is not less than 26% and crude fat is not less than 12%. So they have to put the maximum for those, and then the percentage of, oh, sorry, they have to put the minimum for those, it's not less than, and then they have to put the maximum of crude fiber and moisture. So this one's crude fiber is not more than 7.6%, moisture not more than 10%. So they have to put those on there, and that's it. Sometimes you'll find more things listed, but legally that's all they have to list on there as far as the guaranteed analysis. So make sure those 4 things are on there. And again, you know, just watch for those tricky labeling things as I showed you on the front here. You know, this one in big letters, it says no, grains, genetically engineered ingredients, soy byproducts, fillers, preservatives, artificial colors or flavors, added sugar or salt. Those are great things to look for. If you're looking for a grain-free product, look for something that says 100% grain-free or 100% natural. The issue that food labels run into is that there really are not a lot of restrictions. So things like holistic, things like premium food, super premium food, there's nothing that says what qualifies as a super premium food, what qualifies as a holistic or a premium food. So be careful with that. Watch out for things. A lot of marketing schemes go around, you know, made in the USA. They might be made in the USA with ingredients sourced from other countries. Things like it says made in a USDA inspected facility. The facility might be inspected by a USDA, but there might not be an inspector on the premises when the food is actually being made. So keep those things in mind. A lot of the things that are written on labels are things, you know, veterinarian recommended. So you want to jump on Sojo's. Why do they say that this is veterinarian recommended? What does that mean? Is it veterinarians that work for them that's on their payroll? Is it veterinarians that, you know, there's been a study done and there's something behind that? You know, things like grain-free and gluten-free, that's great. It is 100% grain-free. But if it just says grain-free, you need to think about that, you know, those types of things. So again, there's so much more information on this. I have to wrap this video up, you guys, but make sure that you click on that link and check it out because I go into so much more detail on our site. If you have any questions, email me, Samantha@topdogtips.com. Of course, follow us on social media, on our website, and on our YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.